Hi everyone, welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to this week's reading of what is their perspective about your relationship, right? So I will be doing then versus now. So how did they feel? What did they think? How did they perceive you and your relationship at that time while you were going out versus how do they perceive it now? And I will also include some guidance from, well, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels, higher selves, and all the positive energies around you about your connection, as well as if there is some future ahead of you. If so, what kind? Okay, so remember to choose with your intuition. The first pile is the blue heart over here, second pile is the green one, third is the orange, and the fourth is the purple heart. So choose with your intuition and ask yourself, how do they feel about me now? How do they feel about me then? Okay, and then choose your pile. We get started quickly with pile 1. Hi pile 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the blue heart over here, so let's quickly jump into your reading. Let's see what their perspective is about you and your relationship together when you were going out versus now. Okay, yeah. So the message for you is thank you. So they're very thankful to have you. Actually, they were very grateful. They felt like you made them feel like things are valuable and light, and there's like a fresh perspective of things. I just feel this really grateful thing, like simply just thank you for being there, and honestly meaning the thank you, not just saying it out of being polite, right? So your astrology cards, we have South Node, which is past life, comfort, resource, instinct, and familiar. Okay, so your connection was quite natural. You could have shared some past lives together, but either way, they really felt comfortable around you to be themselves. And we have the second house. Yes, so these are the feelings of self-worth, self-value, the respect that they put towards themselves, as well as the close vicinity, the things that they own, things like that. Okay, so it's like, when you respect your own self, you start respecting the things that you own. It's like each and everything that you own has a value of itself, right? So if you're not going to take BS from people, you also don't allow other people to mistreat your stuff, right? It's quite natural to happen that way. So it feels like through you, they kind of learned a lot more the value of things that they own and of their own self. Then we have luck, growth, expansion, optimism, and understanding. So again, it feels like their understanding of things grew, their awareness grew, they understood a lot more, they grew so much, and they can really see the progress that they have made from how they were without you and what happened while you guys were together. So however the progression was, whether it was rough going in the beginning and then it became smooth, or it was constantly up and down, it doesn't really matter, right? Because in the end, they grew, they understood, they just expanded their horizons a little bit more than what they had learned before. And your rune card we have is Evaz, sorry, that is equality, duality, change, love, and partnerships. Yes, it felt like you were a partner with them. You both were equals to each other, and knowing that you guys have your differences. I mean, you cannot be too similar, but you can't be too dissimilar, right? So it was kind of like you're two sides of the same coin, and you're like puzzle pieces that kind of fit properly, equally. Okay, you need the other person to what do you say, oh god, I don't know how to say this but not complete you. I'm not gonna say that, I don't like saying that, but it's kind of like the things that you do lack, they kind of have that as a strength, right? And vice versa. So you kind of help each other be complete in yourselves. So you respect that both of you are not the same, and that's how you learn from each other, right? Because if both of you are the exact same thing, then there's no progress, and very quickly it just gets really dull and boring, right? Yeah. So your oracle card is the universe works fast when I'm having fun. So they definitely had a lot of fun with you. There was so much love in this connection, and on every level. Okay, this is having emotional connection, mental compatibility, physical compatibility, as well as you have this deep understanding that both of you are just somehow just correct. Okay, it feels very much like that. Okay, then your tarot cards, we have 8 of Wands. Okay, 10 of Pentacles. Oh my god. Okay, and the World. Wow. Okay, they felt very safe and protected with you around, and they felt very complete with their own selves, their own understanding of themselves, etc. And they felt very, very connected with you, with themselves, with the immediate world that is around them. And it was like, it was a different chapter entirely in their lives. Okay, so before they met you, or before you guys got together, it was a separate them, and after they got together with you, that was a whole different person, according to the, it's not like they were trying to change themselves, but like I said, they develop, they grow, right? They felt very stable with you, and they felt like you were the one. Yeah, the 10 of Pentacles, they're very like, they're looking forward to having a family with you, getting a house together, or starting some, joint thing going on there, joint banking or joint everything, actually, everything, like just being you and them together, There was a lot of passion, quite fiery with the 8 of Wands, great passion. When you guys met, it could have been a very instant connection. Even if you didn't exactly know that, okay, I'm gonna be with this person. It was just like, I feel like I'm very drawn to them. I feel very curious about them. I'm very drawn to them somehow. I don't know why. It's quite inexplicable, but yeah, it feels like very instant and fiery. And when you guys got together, it wasn't a lot of trying to figure each other out, because you feel so familiar to each other, and it's very, very comfortable to be around each other. And you express yourself very freely, both of you, and despite your differences, it worked really perfectly, okay, while you were together. It could be because it's the tens. It could be that one of you was very, very invested in this relationship while the other one was not there yet. Okay, because there's so much explosion, and there's so much like strength in the stability. There's a lot of intensity in the feelings that are there. So if both of you are not on the same page, then it's kind of like too much too soon. That's the feeling. And those people who are like really, really eager, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that both of you have to be in the same place, right? That's quite natural to expect that, or to want that, right? Only then it can work. So some people are there who are like, they will get together, and within the month they'll be thinking about, okay, where is the wedding, who are we gonna invite, and things like that. You're nowhere close to getting married, of course not, but I mean, when you're starting out, but it's like their head kind of just escalates and just goes way, way ahead, right? So it feels very intense, very fast, because even if you like each other since a really long time, when you get together, you kind of have to make sure that whatever you had in your head is the same as the actual thing, right? So yeah, one of you was kind of like that. So it was kind of like a strategic thing, not like a business strategy type, but like, okay, so we're gonna finish our studies, we'll get a job, and we'll work there for like 2-3 years, and then we will get a house together, we'll move in, then we'll tell our parents, things like that. So it was kind of like planning your way towards this 10 of Pentacles, and kind of replicating this feeling right now that both of you are so perfect with each other into the very, very far future. Okay, so if you've been going out for like 6 months, and then they're planning the rest of your life, it's like not just dreaming of it, just planning it, then it kind of feels like, oh, too much, too much, too much. Let's just think about where we're gonna eat today or something, So yeah, because it's big energies, I feel like both of you were not exactly in the same place. Because even if both of you do want this 10 of Pentacles, and both of you are enjoying, you feel the same passion, all of that, all these things are the same, the way that you see the future is different, right? And if either one finds it uncomfortable along that point, it's like, let me just see what happens, that's also there. So yeah, again, that depends. I don't know why you guys are not together now. I did not ask for those information, but that's what I'm getting from these cards. Okay, now I'm gonna push these aside. And do your reading for what is the situation now. How do they feel now? What are they thinking now? Oh, okay, we have the quote for you is miss me? The questioning. Do you miss them? We have Chiron, deep insecurity, spiritual strength, and rebirth cycles. Okay. Feel like timing wasn't right or something. Something was off, even though the connection itself was really great. And we have Capricorn. Okay. So they're a little bit insecure about not being together anymore. It kind of got in the way and hampered with this idea that they had that everything is just going to be hunky-dory and is just picture perfect, happily ever after. But because of this hiccup over here, it's like, I don't know what it is anymore, and they become a little bit cautious. They're not so like, okay, well, I love you today and we'll get married tomorrow and we'll have children day after. They're not like that anymore. They're a little bit more cautious, quite a bit more cautious actually, as compared to before. They have to really make sure that they can open up, okay? So a bit hardy in their heart, closed off a little bit in their heart space. But that does not mean that they do not like you, okay? They still know that there is a connection, but it's kind of like that speed bump kind of made them question a lot of things about themselves, right? Let's see more. We have Rido, which is ride, journey, destiny, travel, and change. Okay. Your oracle cards. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. Okay, a lot of universal things here. Okay, and the universe has my back. All right. Okay, so they're kind of keeping faith in destiny. It's like, if it is meant to be, it will be. If it is mine, it will always be mine, whether I chase it or I don't chase it, and it is up to the universe to deliver. Okay, so they're kind of taking this as a fated thing, and they're going through their own journey of, well, discovering themselves, because with Chiron, these insecurities that pop up, it's not like they weren't there before. They were, but it was just never revealed until this point. So there has to be a trigger, right? You can't just wake up and be like, what is my insecurity today, right? It doesn't happen that way. So because of whatever happened, it kind of triggered for them that, oh, so I'm afraid of losing people, or I'm afraid of, exposing myself to someone, or, now I'm afraid of this and that. So they feel like it might be triggered by your relationship, but it has been there, but they're not yet able to see it, okay? So because they know that these are some issues, they have become a little bit more hardy. They kind of have to go through this their own journey of figuring out what they are, who they are, what is their love style now, what is their relationship now, what is the expectation now. Are they going to be super jealous? Are they going to be super possessive? Is that healthy for them? Is this what they want? To be just you and them and that's it, no more interaction, etc. Or are they going to just accept things for how they are? Because yeah, in the end, things are how they are. That's it. Whether you put a tag of, oh, that was bad, this was good, whether you put the tags or not, the event itself is going to still be the same, right? So it depends a lot of their own thing, but they're still going through the process at the moment. And about the connection, they're keeping faith in the universe that if this is meant to be, and they feel like it is meant to be, then it will be. Okay, however long it takes, however long this whole process takes for them and for you, both of you have your own individual journey, but then you come together and you have your collective journey as well, right? So you can't discard one or the other, because a partnership includes two different people, two separate people who come together, right? So they're keeping faith that everything will work out, whether it is now, tomorrow, 10 years later, 20 years later. It doesn't really matter for them anymore, because they're keeping faith. What's interesting is I'm seeing two moons over here, and both of them have the same phase of the moon. This crescent-ish thing going over here on both sides. One is blue and one is pink, okay? So pink is an elevated heart thing, so they have this soft corner for you, and also like they're learning how to express themselves more clearly, or if they were expressing way too much, then they are learning how to curb it down. Basically kind of talking to the universe in the way that, okay, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is my expectation, and this is what I need you to deliver. Okay, so even though they are hardening up, they have hardened up in an external sense, like they don't want to allow just about anyone to enter into their lives without really seriously, kind of like love has to be earned, that sort of idea. Okay, that you have to prove it before I jump into anything that, that just feels okay or feels right or seems right. Let me see, what does that mean? Let me think. So the waning crescent is like they're taking care of themselves for a little bit. Because it's their process, and they kind of have to nurture themselves a little bit right now. They have to deal with the insecurities that pop up, right? So involving more in self-love, taking care of themselves, being patient with everything, that's kind of going on there. And they're opening their heart to the universe, as in the faith, the greater thing, the greater picture, rather than another person, right? So they do believe that you are still for them, but they're not pestering anyone else about it. They're not freaking out about it. They are hurt and they want to deal with it. They understand. But all said and done, everything did change, right? Things are different. And they're acknowledging that to the universe. However, they're dealing, it takes time. It takes time to deal with stuff, right? But they still do have faith in destiny and fate, that if you're meant to be, you will be together. 10 of Cups. Did I not say this? Yes. So they still think that you guys are the happy family, happily ever after couple. Okay, they do feel that. There is hope. 3 of Wands. They do have hope. But I feel like they're not going to be making the first move anymore. We have 7 of Pentacles. So they're taking their time, being patient. And 3 of Swords. Whoosh. This is the broken heart card, as you can see from the imagery anyway. So they're feeling insecure quite a bit. They're feeling heartbroken, and it's kind of like, why did it have to end this way? Why is this happening this way? It's so painful. So they're taking time. They're being patient in their own healing, but also in your approach towards them. It doesn't look like they're going to be making the first move anytime soon, and it's kind of like the Three of Wands is a little bit like looking into the far future rather than you connecting with them tomorrow or day after. Okay, it's like I have to go through my process just as they have to go through theirs. That's the dialogue. Okay, so yes, there is hope, but first healing has to happen. Okay, they do miss you with the Three of Wands as well. It looks like they're kind of waiting for something to show up at the horizon, but they're not like expecting it. They're not just like clinging to the fact that, oh, are they gonna come now? Are they gonna come now? Okay, there's no clingy nature going on at all. They know that they have some problems. They know that there were issues and roadblocks along the way, and it was unfortunate. It caused pain, but yeah, they have hope for that happily ever after. Oh man, that's so beautiful. Okay, I'm going to now move this up here. So that will do your advice card, so that you can take a look at all the cards once more if you want. All right. So we have this feather here as your advice for, your connection together. We have the white owl. Wow. The wisdom and messages of the divine are within you. And your future together, if any, what is that going to be like? We have the hawk, which is pay attention. A powerful message is being communicated to you now. This is the feather, by the way. If you see it, that is a confirmation. And we have this feather right here, and it belongs to a white turkey. The power to heal the earth is within you. Okay. So again, with these cards, it's like a lot of the future depends on what you do now. Okay. So with the white owl over here, you kind of have to ask, what do you believe in? And what is it that you need to do? Because it's all within you. It's kind of like you know what to do. You know where this is headed and what you want it to head towards, things like that. So you have the clarity that you seek, but you need to be a little bit quiet, go within and kind of figure it out for yourself. But how do I do this and this and that? However much you ask other people, in the end you will be the one who knows best, right? So that's what the white owl is asking you to trust in and follow the wisdom of whatever you have. Now together, because we have a powerful message has been communicated to you now, it's like I feel the moment you tune in and the moment you curiously, very honestly ask, how can, we be together again and go back to that beautiful connection that we shared, it's going to be an instant answer that comes through. As in instant, as in like within a few hours or maximum within the day. Okay, all you need to do is be curious and like openly ask, okay? Whether that means, okay, you have to be more working on this area of life, or you have to address this issue that you have, or this is what caused this relationship to end, so what can you do to, I don't know, it's different for every one of you. Obviously it's a general reading, and even if it was not general, I mean, this is something that only you know because it's deeply personal, right? So use that information that you already know, tune into this meditative state if you can. You can even do subliminals on meditative binaural beats, and I don't know, there's so many meditation music. I mean, it doesn't really matter what source you choose and how you get to this state of meditation, but you will get the answer that you're looking for and asking for, and how you can get back together will be told to you, because it's like the message is waiting for you to ask. It's like the answer is already ready. All you need to do is tune in. And with you guys being together, it's like either you're very earth conscious. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles as well, so they could be getting busy with some earthly stuff. But that's not necessary. That was just one more synchronicity that showed up. Could be for some of you. But yes, heal the earth as in with your connection you can give faith to other people that this genuine thing exists, and no breaking up or taking a break, whatever the separation situation is, it does not have to be the end of the world. It just happens so that you can learn more about yourself, because some things you need to learn by yourself, right? Not everything you can do with other people around. That's why people still say be silent for like 5 minutes a day at least, right? They still give that advice, and it's not just hippie stuff. It just allows you to clear your head for a moment, right? Yeah, so if you guys are like more health conscious or something, then this is quite literal, where you do something related very hands down, kind of like planting more trees or raising awareness about, well, so many different things, climate change, oil, fossil fuels, things like that, the impact of everything that we're doing, or like you volunteer at animal sanctuaries, or you donate money, or I don't know. Okay, it's a very diverse thing, and it doesn't honestly matter which way you choose in order to heal the earth. Okay, that is quite a literal meaning for that, but it also applies to the emotional healing, the collective energies of the earth, of all the humans, the sadness or the feeling of loneliness, the disconnect that people feel. With your connection together and seeing that you can connect on such a deep level, when that comes out and you share that with people, nobody's gonna say, oh, authentic connection, no thank you. No one's gonna say that. They're gonna see that, oh, okay, you can be yourself, you can be 100% you and still be together. You went through your problems, you went up and down and up and down, it was crazy, but you're still together, and that heals a part of the earth because you heal yourself. But in order for you to reach this lofty goal of your relationship as a whole, I mean, you have to do the self work yourself, right? Because that quote, right? If you can't do, don't preach, that kind of thing, right? So the things that you are not able to heal, you cannot really teach someone else, right? Okay, let's do your letters now. These initials can be your name, their name, first, last, middle name, important places you've visited, important days, dates, things like that. Okay, we have C, M, N, T, come on, H, and B. Okay. So yes, this was your reading part 1. I hope this message resonated and that it helps you out. If it did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in some of my other videos. Until then, bye and take care. Hi Palter, welcome to your reading. You chose this green heart over here. Let's jump right into your reading. So let's find out what is their perspective about you and your relationship back then when you guys were dating versus what is it now. Okay, so let's get started. What it was before. Is there someone else? That's the message for you. So immediately I'm getting someone was a little bit anxious, overprotective, not very easily trusting, needing frequent reassurance that there is no one else, but still that kind of fear stayed. This is definitely, you were not their first relationship. Yeah. So this fear, it has kind of come from previous relationships or from like their childhood, like seeing their parents and things like that. Okay, but there's this deep set insecurity that they kept holding on to. Okay, then we have Capricorn here. So yes, it's kind of like you have to earn their affection, their trust, their love, their faith, and things like that. It's like very tough to just let loose and be, because Capricorn is a little bit cautious. They're slow and steady, so they don't like rushing into anything or bearing too much too soon. So they're very like, they're really cautious and closed off in that sense, especially in the beginning. Then we have the Sun card, which is ego, stamina, consciousness, and father figure. So, I feel like they learned a lot about their own self, about who they are individually. They did more than they initially thought they were capable of. They stuck around for longer, that kind of feel. Okay, then it's, with consciousness, I feel like they came into a lot of awareness and insight during your time together. Okay, your rune card is Kona, which is knowledge, wisdom, insight, creativity, and inspiration. Yeah, like I was saying, they got like a lot of information about who they are, what they're capable of, what is their actual expectation, because it's very easy to say, oh yeah, I want someone who cares about me, but in what way? What is caring? Because everyone does care about something or the other, but in what way do you need that caring to show? Like for some couples, it doesn't really matter whether someone expresses their feelings for them or not. Meanwhile, some other people, they need more reassurance to feel like they're cared for, right? So the love style is very different for everyone. So they kind of discovered what it means for them, like how much reassurance do they need in order to feel like there is no one else, or what kind of love expectation do they have of the other person. So they realized a lot about who they are as an individual, and then about what they can or cannot expect from their partner. Okay, your oracle card for that time. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. Okay, so with you, in the beginning, I feel like this fear of is there someone else was a lot more. And even if it was not just this fear, there were more things, more insecurities that were kind of holding them back from expressing their love fully. So even if they had just an idea of the gist of the things that they want or expect from a relationship or from you, it was very clouded with fear and insecurities as well, right? So they could have been more jealous in the beginning of the relationship as compared to, as time progressed. Okay, so they started to see a little bit more clearly, and as per evidence, as Capricorn likes to see like solid, tangible, like proof. Okay, I'm not just gonna go about by airy promises. I need solid proof of your dedication, that kind of thing. Okay, so they saw some proof about these insecurities that they have, that it is not true and it does not apply to you and your relationship, and that their fears of the previous relationship does not define the current one, right? So their vision, their perception of things expanded from, oh, all girls are like this, or all guys are like this, or all relationships are like this too. It depends on who I am with and what I am with them. Okay, so there is more understanding of the same situation that came through by being with you. Okay, let's see if, oh my god, okay, we have the Three of Swords. Okay, the Chariot, and the Nine of Wands. Okay, so it was not easy. Okay, it was, you had frequent rough patches. You had to fix a lot of things quite quickly. It was like the moment you solve one problem, you're okay one day, and then something else pops up, and then you have to deal with that, and then against something else, and it's kind of like just a show of stubbornness that no, we can't stick it out, we have to stick it out. So even if it is really rough and really tough, and you both of you are kind of like, I have no idea what is happening, I did not sign on for this, even if it was like that, it was like, but I do like you and I do care for you and all of that. So even if your definitions of what is caring, what is loving, and things like that were different, you did care for one another, and that's what kind of made both of you stick together and try to, you know, work through all of them. So you tried to deal with it like quickly, and feeling like some problems you try to find quick fixes rather than getting to the root of the problems. Okay, so like jealousy, for example, they will be jealous about one person that you hung out with yesterday or sometime, and they will like, see, you keep doing this, and yeah, you're really strong friends and this and that, and then you'll be like, oh my god, there's nothing going on, what should I do to make you believe that? Okay, that kind of thing. And then after a while, you both of you cool off, and then you just tell each other that, oh, I'm sorry, I just have this insecurity, and the other person is like, yeah, it's okay, I mean, there's nothing going on, they'll believe me, things like that. So that's kind of a quick fix, but the root of the problem is that they are concerned that their previous relationship is going to repeat in this one, and that is not a valid problem to put on someone else or on the relationship itself. No, not even on themselves. They should not be doing that on themselves either, right? So it's kind of like you don't address that. That's why it happened, and you honestly have to think about it and understand that that is not valid anymore. It was past, and let it stay in the past, okay? But because the dredging, it is unresolved, therefore it is carrying forward in your relationship as well. So the longer you don't address it, it'll keep coming back again and again through different circumstances, different instances, right? Sometimes it goes so far as to being irrational, like you did not, you made food for yourself, you could not make some for me, or you could not wait before you ordered something in the cafe or something like that. Oh yeah, sure, yeah, why should you? You know, it escalates really quickly when you leave these unresolved problems. So even if the starting point was something very small, it escalates to something so much bigger than it actually is. Okay, so this finding this balance in how you deal with this thing, like so that it is permanently gone, was not really there. So it felt like your heart was broken again and again and again, and it just became tougher. And the only reason you guys could stick together is because you still remember that you care about one another. Sheesh, okay. I also feel like your emotions kind of, both of yours, while this argument was going on, the emotions were playing a very heavy role. So like your individual feelings about things were there, but the communication of that with each other was not really clear. So it's like when they're already fearful and they're just going to keep talking and keep talking, they're not really listening, right? So when they keep repeating the same thing and you say that, aren't you listening to me? What did I say? You know? It's like, no, they're not listening to you. They hear you, but they're not listening because they're not ready. They're just afraid, that's all. And fear is extremely irrational. It doesn't care about anything, right? All insight goes out the window, all logic goes out the window. There's like nothing else going on. So there was like this need to keep this emotional baggage, to keep in check, kind of solve it one by one, and take charge of these emotions rather than allowing the emotions to take charge of you. Okay, that is what was needed, but it doesn't look like it happened. It was kind of like we have to fight for it, you know, that kind of feeling with these two together. We have to fight for it rather than you know, just work on it together. There's a very big difference. This is not war, right? This is not war, but it definitely felt like it. There's some defensiveness as well going on. So again, it starts from something really small, but then escalates to different avenues, right? But through all of this, up and down, rough or smooth, I mean, they did learn a lot about what is it they expect, what do they need, what did they go through, and what they did with you or to themselves even, right? And they realize they did get over a lot of these fears, but I mean, I don't know how to say this. There's still very like this rigidity thing coming in because it's deep rooted. I feel like they don't know how to heal. Yeah, I feel like that because they're very much in their emotions, and they kind of keep it to themselves. It's very closed off in the way that they express, right? Which kind of keeps them on this loop. And even if they break out of one thing, because they're not going to the root of the problem, even if they see clearly about a certain situation, they still are in the dark about so many others. Yeah. But as compared to how they were before you guys got together and after you guys got together, they did learn a lot more about, well, relationships in general and about themselves in a relationship and what they expect of their partner and things like that. Okay. Let's see how they feel now. Oh my god, we have I feel guilty. Okay. So they feel guilty about what happened, how they treated you, but yeah, okay. Okay, let's see the other cards. We have the 8th house, which is the house of deep transformation. House of Scorpio. Oh my god, we have the Scorpio as well. So yeah, they're definitely changing a lot. They have transformed a lot. Their idea of what is it they expect, all these expectations that they were holding on to before, it is completely undergoing like 180 flip. Like it's absolutely different now. Okay, we have the Dagas, which is day, happiness, time, and success. Okay, and Avas, which is junction, endings, transformation, death, and rebirth. Yes, again we have transformation. So the old ideas, old paradigms of what they believed, what they thought, what they expected, everything is kind of to an end, and it has not been easy. Scorpio is never, puppy licking your face easy. Is just like, hey, yeah, so this is the truth, you gotta face it. Okay, it's like that. So that's kind of the phase that they have been going through about this relationship. It was kind of a harsh reality that showed them to their face that this is how they are. Okay, and it's kind of like now it is the beginning of something new, so they're still moving on. I feel like it's a time of transformation and transition. It's a junction point, so that like the old does not remain but the new is not there yet, but there is a lot of hope that time will heal all things, and with time they can even forgive themselves for all of this pain, this roughness that was to whatever part that they contributed. The Oracle card, I am unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I will focus on will grow. Okay, so it looks like now they know truly what is it that they need. Some of these things that were uncompromisable for them still is, and they're not apologetic about any of that, but the way that they behaved or the way that they expressed these concerns of theirs to you, and that's what they're guilty about. Okay? And they're trusting that when time is right, when everything is correct, I mean, they themselves are in the right place at the right time, and so is the other person. That's when things will work out, and that happiness, well, we have to keep hope. That's kind of the thing. So yeah, some of these, for example, if they are really possessive, and that's just how they are, it is not coming from a fear-based reality, but rather that's how they are. They need that much depth of loyalty to be apparent all the time. Then they can't be apologetic about it. Okay, whether it is okay with you or not, that's a different story, because I said this in group 1 as well, but you're first of all two different individuals. Okay, you are your own people first, and then you get together, and that's how a partnership forms. So if either one of you is in a different place or has a different understanding and it just doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. Okay, you don't have to apologize for what you want, and they don't have to apologize for what they want, as long as, of course, it comes from not a fear-based reality. Okay, so if you want, for example, flowers and chocolate, or you want letters and I don't know, okay, what is it that your way of expression is, whatever you want, either way, you should not have to apologize for it. Okay, because there will be someone else for you who understands that is what you like, and they like it when you like that. Okay, so they will go and do all of these efforts, and it doesn't feel like an effort. Whereas in your relationship with this person, it felt like everything was an effort. Everything felt like an effort. So the things that they truly desire, because it is so true, because it's so honest to God, true to them, that they know that is what will come by for them. So there is no use forcing someone to be something else, because that is not love, right? You accept each other for who you are, what you stand for, rather than who they can be, right? So yeah, they're changing themselves by learning from this experience. So you definitely open their eyes up like big time, and it's like clear as day, kind of, with the guys here. And it has not been easy, not now, not then, but they did learn, because adversity really teaches quite a bit, doesn't it? Learn so much from problems. Okay, then we have the World here, which is completing a cycle and entering kind of a new way of being, feeling more protected and in sync with the energies around, rather than trying to fit yourself in a different box than is yours. You just make your own box that fits you, right? So this is their circle that they're building around themselves, which kind of puts them with the like-minded energies that they are within. Okay, that's where what I desire will grow, because what is within is without. Okay, yes, so the cycle I feel is completed. Then we have Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, yeah, she's very fearless, very brave, and it looks like the fears that once caged them they're kind of lighting it on fire symbolically, and letting that go out of the picture, because it doesn't serve them, and it has not helped them in the past, and it has been towing around their lives for way too long than it deserves to be hanging around. And yeah, they're ready to let all of that go for the betterment of their future and any other relationship that they may be in, right? But yeah, I feel like you really you inspired this thing, you triggered this whole journey of theirs to, transform themselves, to change of certain things, to make them not forcefully, like you didn't actively force them, but the whole situation kind of forced them to look at these fears. It's kind of like, look what you're doing. What are you doing? It kind of was that for them. Okay, then we have Queen of Cups. Okay, so they are now more emotionally open and connected with themselves, with this hardiness with the Capricorn that came here, that is changing now. They're ready to be more open, but only and only if it is a guided guided connection. In the sense that if it honestly feels right, like very deep down, if it feels right, that's the only way that they're going to open up, I feel. They're still like, if you're cautious one day, you can't just be like, yeah, whatever, right? Because Scorpio really looks at things from a deeper perspective and doesn't really just take things at surface value. So surface value connections not going to work. It's not their cup of tea. Still. But they are much more open as compared to before about how they express themselves. Okay, And we have finally Six of Swords. So yeah, I told you they're transitioning. It's a divinely guided transition. That is, that this was supposed to happen. It was kind of fated. And on the other side of the shore is a completely new chapter. So they have left behind quite a few things. And I feel like it's not just about the love sector. Just in general, a lot has happened in their lives. And they are learning. They're seeing the previous hardships with your relationship and your connection as a blessing in disguise. Yeah, I feel like they're now saying, oh, if that had not happened, I would not be facing this now. I would not be dealing with my problems right now. I would not be this open, right? So they're really appreciating the lessons that did take place, and they're using all of that to kind of upgrade themselves. Okay, so while they do feel like, this guilt feeling that, oh, that was not cool, they're not apologetic about the things that they need. Okay, I would say that they're moving on, by the way, with the Six of Swords. Because yeah, this lady over here, she has like left everything behind, and all she's carrying is this one suitcase with her essentials, and she's moving. That's it. She doesn't have anyone behind her. She has no hope of moving back, things like that. So it's kind of like a permanent transition from one phase of life to another. Okay. So I'll put these aside here so I can get to your advice. Okay. So the advice about your connection, the power of divine grace is within you. That's the White Swan. I will read the book for this, but yeah. Then we have Turkey with this feather here. So if you see these feathers, by the way, this could be another sign of synchronicities that this message is definitely one of importance for you. So Turkey, we have honor your own time of harvest, offer your gifts and blessings as service to the higher good. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna read the book here. White Swan. The White Swan brings with it the message that the power of divine grace is indeed within you and with you. Your connection to Source is powerful, and the healing potential is connected with your collected merits in the form of grace. Now is the time to embrace these divine gifts where you most need support. That healing may be in the form of a blessing over a current situation or transformation occurring in your life. Know that the divine messengers are assisting you now. You have the power through your own grace to move through any situation or challenge you're facing in a smooth and harmonious way. The energies are grace, beauty, fidelity, and transformation. Season is summer, which represents light, expression, action, and vitality. And your elements are water and air, which means like flowing with things, being flexible and adapting with the new changes, allowing your emotions to flourish and feeling creative, as well as feeling open, free, and loving and compassionate again. So everything that is kind of holding you down at this moment based on these energies here, based on this interaction, bond, whatever you choose to call it, it is now possible for you to really heal it if you choose to. Okay, everything kind of starts with you and ends with you. Okay, so if you want to heal these energies and kind of move towards your bliss again, you definitely can, because you have the blessings over here. It's like the answer is waiting for you. You just have to go to it. Okay, and take your time. Take your time to get to this proper healing point. It is not over in a day. It takes its own time. Let it take its time, because it's important that you deal with it, gain closure now itself, rather than dredge it up here and there in your next relationships, right? Offer your gifts and blessings as service to the greater good. I think this is an additional message. I'm not sure if this is related to your love life, although in the sense that if you want to communicate with your friends or give advice to some people, if they ask you, of course, then it's kind of like a go-ahead thing, that you can share your experiences with other people so that they may gain the knowledge and insights that you yourself are learning, right? But I guess that's kind of specific. It can also apply to different areas of life, so take it how it resonates. Now, your future together, if any, what would that be like? This is of a woodpecker. Use your discernment and fortitude to achieve your goals and find a new rhythm. Okay, so if you guys get together, it has to be like a completely clean new state. Okay, it's as if a new relationship. So that I know that is difficult to do that, because you still have the memories of each other and you kind of have the tendency to fall back to the same habits. So it's difficult to, yeah, do that. That's why it kind of states, are you sure you're really strong enough? Use your discernment. Are you sure about this? You have to really think about the whole thing rather than just nostalgia. Okay, that's kind of the thing here. Use the, because both of you, yeah, this is as clear as it gets, but yeah, I'll read the woodpecker thing if anything applies more. Okay, the divine woodpecker drums its way into your consciousness to suggest you use the power of discernment now. Use your mental energy and fortitude you already possess. It will be essential in the path to realizing your goals. Notice if you tend to be harder-headed or stubborn in relation to what may be a challenge. This is about being stubborn and defensive as well. Okay. Can you allow a new rhythm to come into your way of doing things? These are all the questions that the woodpecker presents. Use the focus and fortitude of this messenger to hammer away in a purposeful way. As you find that the power to realize your dreams is supported by the universe, it will become easier to find the rhythm you seek. So the energies for you are discernment, fortitude, and wisdom. Season is again summer, and we have fall as well. Fall represents maturity, harvest time. So yeah, think with a very clear mind and kind of connect with your higher self if you do that sort of thing, and really ask yourself if this is something that you need in your life. Again, your affirmation: I align thought, wisdom, and fortitude in all of my actions. Okay, now let's do your initials. This can be your initials, their initials, first name, middle name, last name, important places, cities, countries, places of date, dates, etc. Okay, so we have O, T, come on, K, N, S, G, A, and F. So a lot of letters here. Yeah. So that is what I'm getting for you, pile 2. I hope this message resonated and that it helps you out. If it did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in some of my other videos. Until then, goodbye and take care. Hi pile 3, welcome to your reading. It shows this orange heart right here. Let's get started with your reading quickly. So let's find out what their perspective was while you guys were going out, and what is it now. So let's start with back then. Your quote is there someone else? So I'm feeling like there was some insecurity going on. Okay, some trust issues over there. For astrology cards, we have Jupiter, which is luck, growth, expansion, optimism, and understanding. So they did gain a lot of new perspectives by being with you, and they did understand a lot more about relationships and their expectations, general behavior, things like that. Then we have Himam Koli, or the Nadir point, which represents the private self, home life, and childhood. Okay, I'm feeling like this insecurity kind of stems from a long time ago. They've seen something, so difficult childhood, parents, something stemming from parents. Either they did not feel like they trust their own parents to be able to be together and provide them with a family, or they saw kind of a lot of fighting with each other, like their parents fought quite a bit, and that left a lasting impression in their life. And we have the 6th house. Okay, so home. Okay, I'm getting like work-life balance was off. Yeah, because the 6th house deals with work, but we have home life here. So I'm getting the 2 different aspects here, plus the insecurity. Okay, let's see. We have 3rd house, which is thorn, pain, focus, hardship, and introspection. Okay. Your oracle card is, my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Okay. Okay. We have the Empress. The Wheel. Okay. And 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, definitely I'm feeling that there was a lack of work-life balance. It was kind of up and down, quite variable, the way that the relationship worked. So that does not mean that you break up and patch up all the time, but also like sometimes you just feel extremely connected to one another, and it's just really gorgeous for a phase of life, and then all of a sudden, yeah, things just get in the way, and adaptability is, I mean, how do you adapt to these changes is then different, and it just doesn't work with the relationship. That's why it's kind of like, then you feel this disconnect, and it feels like you're going through a low phase of your relationship, and then you have to kind of make the effort to come back up. So it's like a continuous cycle of up and down and up and down. Although they did see you as a very nurturing person, very loving, caring, and always there, supportive, and they felt safe around you. Okay, they felt safe in sharing their thoughts with you. That's why they felt kind of understood, and they felt optimistic about the way that things were proceeding. They felt understood. But because it was unstable, it kind of brought back these fears that they have from before, as this one over here as well says, that it's an internal condition. It's a fear that is there within them, rather than caused by some external situation, at least not in the recent past. Okay, so that's kind of what they were focusing on. See, it is low again. So it's kind of like, yeah, things will fluctuate. That's quite a natural thing to happen, but it depends on what you choose to fixate upon. Because any issue that happens here, if you have this inner fear that, oh, okay, so things are not looking good now, so it's just gonna go to hell now, right? If you already have that fear, then that's what you're going to be focusing on, and that's never anything optimistic, right? So you're focusing on the painful bits, and it requires a lot of introspection, right, in order to fix all of that. That's why we have the introspection here. You need to introspect and think about it, think about where it comes from in order to fix that problem. But either way, it was all these insecurity, all the fights, all the arguments that were happening was not as a result of the relationship itself, but that it goes way back and way beyond into their lifetime. Okay, so it's their individual problems. Even, I mean, everyone has their issues, so it's kind of like that was acting off one another. So you were acting like mirrors for each other, kind of. Do you get what I'm saying? Let me see, how else can I put this? Yeah, I'll give the possessiveness and jealousy example. If someone else has kind of betrayed their trust or has betrayed your trust, it goes either way, okay? Because relationship involves 2 people, 2 different experiences, right? So if individually you've been through something that kind of destroyed your trust for a while there, and you kind of kept suppressing it and just pushing it aside, and yeah, you didn't really address it because it was triggering or whatever, that doesn't mean that the pain disappeared or that the reasoning disappeared, right? It still is there because you've not yet dealt with it. So whenever a similar circumstance arrives in your life which kind of replicates that situation, you act out based on that previous understanding of things. Okay, so if they're spending quite a bit of time outside, or like spend a lot of time at work, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, so that's your priority, and you found someone else there, and things like that. Okay, it may be irrational, but that's the point of fear, right? It never has a solid backing. But that is something that is always within us, like some sort of insecurity, some sort of fear that acts out. And because we feel comfortable with our partners, we act out on them, right? So this private self kind of became very something that was very much within became an outer experience, okay, as a reflection here. And there is the full moon here, we also have the full moon here, so emotions were really running high. I feel like both of you were acting out of emotions, so it doesn't matter who started what, right? If, let's say, they said something about this possessive jealousy thing type thing, then you get angry that, okay, so you don't trust me, and that is your emotion then. So both of you have your own separate emotions, and both of you kind of act off one another and act out of your previous understanding and experiences, right? Yeah, so that's it, that's what it was like, and that's what they understand of the relationship. Okay. Move these aside. I'll do what are they thinking about your connection now. We're friends. Okay, so no hard feelings. That's good. No hard feelings. Then we have Uranus, which is rebel, reform, unpredictable, and eccentric. And we have the 12th house. Okay, so I'm feeling they're in a kind of a dreamy state. I feel like they themselves are not very sure about what they feel and what they're thinking, or what they even expect of the future. But either way, it's like we're friends. And with the 12th house, it's a subconscious thing as well. So the subconscious mind is, how do you say it? Like healing and changing. Okay, so it's very, I guess, self-focused at this time, but not very consciously. They're not actively trying to change things, but whatever happened here is kind of as well embedded as a part of their experience, right? Because, yeah, another relationship, another experience, and you move forward with that as well. So that also has become part of their subconscious programming. Okay, the rune card here is Rido, which is right, journey, destiny, travel, and change. Yeah, so things are changing quite a bit for them in their mindset. It's part of the journey, and they're kind of like going through their own process of dealing with everything, and as life comes, and especially this year has not been very easy, so it could be that they have multiple things that they are concerned about at this time. What else? But I still don't, yeah. I feel a very dreamy fantasy type of imagination of what could be. That kind of thing. The oracle cards, I am the loving energy of the universe. Okay. And the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. So yeah, I feel like they're not clear as to what exactly they're feeling or thinking, what they want, and what is it they're hoping for. It's not really clear, but they're kind of, they could be working on some affirmations, by the way, if they're into that kind of thing. But I feel like they're trying to love themselves first. They're trying to work on themselves, taking a more spiritual point of view. So like if they pray or if they meditate or things like that, they're resorting more to that. But even if they're not doing anything actively, it's like during that dream state they could be getting some guidance and healing about their own situation. They could be working on like subliminal messaging, things like that, where they improve their self-love and reduce their fear-based thinking and insecurities. So it's kind of like a life journey that kind of is coming to me, and they have like extreme faith in the destiny that they have in terms of love. Okay. Yeah, they don't know yet what is their hope. Okay, we have Six of Swords, which is transitioning from one state of being to another. It is a permanent transition. So the way that they were is not the same way that they are now. I feel like they're moving on, but it's kind of like they're not really sure what this moving on picture looks like. Then we have the King of Cups. So King of Cups, they're very smart, very compassionate leaders. King of Cups. So I'm feeling like they want to understand more about themselves and about. I feel like they want maturity. They're kind of seeking that a little bit, but even if they don't admit it in those words, but I feel like that's what the seeking thing is. They feel like there was a love connection for sure, so they feel that it was a deeper thing than it was kind of demonstrated or expressed by either one of you. They felt quite deeply, and their heart was very open. They do care about you still, very compassionate, and but at the same time, they're kind of going to use their distinction and be like, I'm in a process of something else. So this getting back together is not a thing yet, at least. We have Seven of Cups, yeah, which is again not able to decide exactly, but it's kind of like a dream world type of thing where everything is awesome. I don't know which awesome thing to choose, and yeah. Yeah, I feel like whatever this internal condition and this whole thing was, I feel like that was there since so long that it became a part of their identity. Okay, that is so deep, so personal that it became a part of their identity. And when that was shattered, when that was kind of in their face, that listen, this is a fear and that is not a truth. Okay, when that kind of came up in their mind, they became indecisive, because now it's like, okay, I don't know who I am then. I don't know what do I need? What do I want? Get it? So they're on this whole journey of trying to find what is it that makes them different. And it's working on many different levels, so it doesn't really matter whether they're doing this by getting involved in many different activities physically, or if they're doing this using meditation, or if they're praying, or it doesn't really matter what source they're using to get this clarity, but they just want to feel love is this unconditional feeling that no matter what, you're supported, no matter what, you're cared for, and you're understood, and things like that, right? So they're trying to find that feeling, and yeah, they're trying to find that feeling. And we have the Fool here. So I am inclined to say that a lot of these exes of yours, it's like they are more in the faith of the universe, because the Fool kind of jumps into the universe knowing full well that they will be protected no matter what. That is the kind of understanding, but also it's just like letting go completely and just taking whatever happens in stride. Whatever happens. They fall in love too quickly, so it's kind of, like I said, their understanding of themselves has kind of really big time changed. Okay, so they're not really sure what is love for them. So that's what they're trying to find. So meanwhile, they're also quite vulnerable to making wrong decisions at this time. But yeah, it's kind of like the Fool trusts the universe's decision, because yeah, that's it. The Fool does. Okay, so about your connection, about you as well, it's like, yeah, we're cool, no hard feelings at all, but I don't know myself anymore, and that's kind of something that I need to change and figure out for myself. But whatever happens as an outcome, I'm just gonna let the universe decide, let destiny and fate come in and intervene in this process. Yeah. Okay. Move these aside. Let's get your guidance now. Yeah, so advice about your connection with this person is the hummingbird. Release what you've been carrying and lighten up. New joy is on the way. This is the feather, by the way. If you see it anywhere, then this is another synchronistic sign. So yeah, I feel like you're gonna get someone new coming into your life. I think, hang on. I'm feeling next year, starting sometime, you'll be getting someone new, or you will meet someone who later becomes an important part of your life. But yeah, they're gonna make you really happy. So it's kind of like this is prep time, downtime. So take this time to release all these previous baggage, because you don't need that going forward into your next one. Yes, around summer. Joy, sweetness, freedom. So your affirmation for the hummingbird is, I am light, joyful, and free. I embrace the sweetness of life. Yeah, get the lightness back into your life, okay? Feel free and open to options rather than closing yourself off. Summer represents expression, action, and vitality. So it's time to kind of get back to that feeling of, hey, you know what? I'm free, I'm me, let's get this done. Okay, let's get someone who is for us, right? You guys can even get together around summer, but you can meet before. Yeah. And I also asked if you and this ex person will get back together. If so, what kind of relationship would that be? And I got this feather here, and it belongs to a flicker, which says, new rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. So again, I'm feeling like it's not going to be them again. But this new person that is coming in, it's going to be a new start. It's a new dynamic that is going on between you and them. So the way that you were in this previous relationship is not going to be the same way that you behave with this new person. Okay, so trust that everything is working in your favor, and kind of deal with the things that you need to deal with right now, so that you can really enjoy this new joy. Yeah. Now we'll get to use some initials. These will be your initials, this X's initials, important places, significant dates. For some of you, it can, because it's new people, new person coming in, it can even be their initial, okay? So let's see. Okay, we have O. Come on, focus. Yeah, so we have O, U, okay, U, L, F, foul. Foul. Okay. That's a type of bird, yeah. Any other initials, please? We have N. I think so far everyone has received an N. Okay. And C. Yeah. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you, pile 3. I hope this message resonated and that it helps you out. If it did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you again in some of my other videos. Until then, take care and goodbye. Hi pile 4, welcome to your reading. You chose this purple heart, so let's get started into your reading quickly. So let's find out, what is their perspective of your relationship? What was it like when you guys were going out versus how is it now? Let's start with back then. We have, will you wait, as the message. So I'm feeling like they had abandonment problems, or like they kind of felt like you would not be waiting for them. One of you lacked patience, they felt. But either way, like the situations that arise from the lack of patience, or that they need some more patience, and you did not seem to demonstrate the same thing. And also I feel like they could have challenged you quite a bit while you guys were together, just to test your patience and see how you react. We have Mercury here, communication, mind, intellect, reasoning, and language. And we have Saturn, which is law, structure, responsibility, and ambition. Okay. For your rune cards, we have Avas, which is junction, endings, transformation, death, and rebirth. And we have Lagus, which is water, emotion, fears, and female. Yeah. So, the way that they communicated with you changed over the course of time, from the beginning versus to the end. They kind of used a lot of their mind instead of their heart to communicate their thoughts to you. So it feels like a lot of what they were feeling was not being relayed. And I feel like both of you had opposing points of view quite often, and that kind of put that heart-to-heart connection barrier. Okay, so even though you both liked each other, it was like there were many other things in between that were getting that were pushing the emotions side of things a little bit away from each other, which, I mean, yeah, that doesn't work in a relationship, right? A lot of transformation happened overall, and I don't think it has been easy. It was quite a challenge for both of you, trying to find this midpoint, trying to find this balance where you kind of convey your information, but at the same time do so in an effective and a loving manner was also a bit of a challenge because, well, Saturn, right? Yeah, so again, with the fears in this year, I feel like they have this abandonment issues that if they do something wrong, you might leave, and out of that insecurity, they kind of act randomly aloofish, or they kind of avoid expressing their own fears, or that they kind of test your patience. So yeah, that was their insecurity. That's what they were acting out of. Your oracle card for that time was, in every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So yeah, this was the attempt that everything will be perfect, everything will be fine. And it's like you fight one moment and the next moment it goes back to okay. And it just kind of keeps happening in different areas of your relationship, I feel. So your communication was very, very mind-based, and it was very factual. No, I'm not getting the right word. It was like you communicate for a purpose, but that's not what you want. Okay, neither one of you wanted that, but that just kind of happened because your speaking style is different and you're different. You're thinking, the way that you think. For example, there are people who are like, okay, I'll go to work, I'll do this, I'll do that, and when I come back after like working or even overworking, I expect the same love to be there when I come back. Meanwhile, the person who is not working so hard, who kind of does the work and also does other things, is more like, excuse me, I make more time for you, right? But that does not mean that either one's emotion is lacking for one another. It's just that they have different ideas of how much time the other person needs, right? So the person who does not feel like they're getting more time, they feel more unloved, and they kind of defend their own heart because, well, yeah, that's the natural tendency, isn't it? To just bridge yourself and just hope for the best, then that it kind of works out. So it's like the universe is conspiring to bring me towards right-minded thinking and the energy of love. So because I feel it should come to me on its own, of its own accord, so I don't feel like they're more of a take charge type of thing. But that's not because they don't want to, it's just that there's a lot of mess going on in their heads. I don't know how else to say this, actually. yeah, it's kind of like fingers crossed. That's the only thing, because so many question marks as well on the will you wait. That, yeah, okay. We have the 10 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles. Okay, having to juggle 2 aspects of life, so it could be the work-life thing, or not being able to juggle the prioritizing type of problem. How much time one person needs and other person needs is kind of like, like I was saying with the communication, right? You try to find the bridge and the balance where the communication is effective, right? This kind of reminds me of that. And we have 7 of Pentacles. Again, this talks about patience. It feels like I am patient, like as if they are thinking, or they were thinking, I am patient with you all the time. I will always be there with you no matter what. But will you? Because you seem busy, you seem to have a life going on, and you have your other stuff happening, and you're very organized, orderly, whatever the case is for you people. Either way, it's like, oh, you're ambitious, but I'm here waiting for you, and I don't care so much about ambition as much as I care about you. So if I leave, would you wait? It's kind of like that. Okay, and I feel like this was not your first ending for some of you. Yeah, this was not the first time that you guys broke up. So it kind of has affirmed their fears that, oh, so it's not a permanent fixed thing that, yes, we will be together no matter what, no matter what. Okay, they've had to move on before, and it has not been easy, which kind of gives rise to this insecurity over here. Okay, move these aside so we can do what's their perspective now. We have sweet and cute. So I think you're adorable. We have South Node, which is past life, comfort, resource, instinct, and familiar. Sorry. And we have Taurus, which is a fixed sign. Yeah. Okay. So they feel comfortable with the idea of you. They feel like you've shared so much of your past together that you're really comfortable to be around, and yeah, they've enjoyed whatever nice times that have happened. But it's kind of like their instinct to reach out to you, at least mentally, even if you're not in communication. It's kind of like, they kind of flash back a lot to your relationship. But with Taurus here, it's like they're taking their time and space, because even if this is instinctual, the South Node, when you keep moving towards the South Node, even though it is comfortable, it is not healthy for you. Okay, so it's like with Taurus here especially, it's like they need their space, they need their time to really think and kind of center themselves and not be swayed by every emotion that comes by. And we have Hagalas, which is loss, destruction, change, and hailstorm. Yeah, so there is some feeling of overwhelming thing happening, and as if they have lost what they once had, as if things are now not going to be the same ever again. But that doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? This reminds me of the Tower card, because yeah, some things do need to fall, some things do need to be destroyed in order for the new to come in, right? So just because a lot of things have been destroyed doesn't take away that they still think you and them had a very nice connection to whatever, like they remember the good times, basically. Yes, they remember the good times, and they still appreciate you as an individual. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. Okay, And the other oracle is, the moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. Okay, so I feel like they don't want to do anything. They are not going to take any more action. They will not be chasing anything or anyone, and that includes their own life in different sectors. It's like, let the things that are meant for me be clear by themselves. I'm not going to run after anything or anyone. I trust that the universe will take care of it, and all I have to do is take care of myself, that kind of thing. So more of a bigger perspective that is coming through, and it's like, no, however amazing that person is, however amazing they think you are, they're not going to take any more actual, like, tangible steps towards you. And they're kind of hoping that the road ahead is going to become clear, because this has been a cycle for, like I said, for many of you here, that you break up, patch up, and they have to move on, and it has not been easy for them, or even for you, but it seems like it affects them a lot more because they already have a lot of issues there. So yeah, they're taking this time and space to really think about them and what they need and what is happening, things like that. Then we have Queen of Pentacles, so yeah, working on self-nurturing, self-love, grounding themselves, connecting with nature, finding the positivity and light again with the sun, trying to see things clearly. Because with the sun, yeah, you're able to see everything, right, with so much light there. So yeah, they're waiting for kind of clarity, and they're trying to reach that clarity within themselves as well, right? Taurus likes to be established within themselves, okay? They don't like this, oh, I don't know situation. So yeah, they constantly need to center themselves and find themselves over and over again, to whatever degree that is. It doesn't matter what spiritual prowess you have. It's just that they need that time. And we have the High Priestess. Okay, so wow, big themes happening already. So this is a really important phase that is going on for them. They are accessing higher guidance, which is kind of allowing them to surrender the outcome, even surrendering the situation is, what do I do? It's like, nothing, let it be. When things are meant to be clear, they will become clear. This reminds me of a fractal. Yeah, I don't know why I mentioned that. So fractals are kind of like the same thing repeats in every magnitude. So it's like, what is in the micro is in the macro, what's in the macro is in the micro. So it kind of repeats the same pattern across time, and within each of these patterns you can find a deeper pattern of which is literally the same shape. You can look up about that if you want. The philosophy is quite interesting. But yeah, it's kind of like, I want to dig deeper, I want to know more, so that I kind of find my central joy rather than looking outward and, you know, wondering. So even though they have really fond memories of you, with you, they don't want to do anything about it unless it is guided by the universe, and yeah, or that you do something yourself. But even so, they're going to consult. They're going to take some time to decide. If you approach them first, they'll need some time to decide what they want to do. Okay. We'll move these aside. Let's see your guidance about this connection, okay? So you have this feather here. It belongs to a white turkey. The power to heal the earth is within you. So through this, I feel like you need to ground yourself. Okay? Earth healing, walking barefoot on the grass, sitting and meditating on the grass without a mat or anything, unless it's like squelchy and mad and wet and muddy or something, and obviously take a mat. But yeah, that's ideal. Involving yourself in plants, like planting your own crops or something, not crops, but like getting your hands dirty with earth and soil. You can work with chakra meditation as well. you can eat some more root vegetables and things like that. But it's kind of like you have to ground yourself in order to release these recurring thoughts or problems, because I didn't ask for what is going on with you. This is just their perspective. This is an advice for you and your connection that you still share. Okay, and Pelican, choose to follow the path of forgiveness and raise your vibration. Okay, this can be forgiving yourself and also forgiving them. Okay, forgiveness is super important. This doesn't mean that you have to enter their life again or that they have to once more, but it just means that you don't keep that energetic tie anymore, because hate or dislike or just anger of any sort is not good for you. And if you are the one who's holding yourself back, then I mean, it's very difficult for you to move on to the next chapter of your life as well, right? So that's your advice here. This is the feather of Pelican, by the way. If you see these feathers, then yeah, this is another synchronistic sign for you. And I then asked if you guys have a future together. If so, what type? And I got this feather. And this belongs to a cardinal. And it says, stand tall and proud, see the leadership role unfolding ahead of you. So it's kind of like a take charge type of thing. So if you're like absolutely determined to be with this person no matter what, then it is going to be you that is going to initiate this connection again. But even then, it does not ensure that what their response is going to be like. But either way, if you guys get together, it's going to be you taking charge of the relationship. Okay. But even generally, this kind of talks about you decide. It's up to you. Okay. But in order to decide clearly and decisively, you need to first ground yourself. Otherwise, your intuition is not going to be completely accurate. Right. Let's get you some initials. Can I have some initials, please? First name, last name, middle name. This person, their person, 5 fours, their exes, important places, dates. Some initials, please. Give me some initials. So we have P, I, okay. Some initials, please. M. Some more. Okay, we have a V, H, R, and K. Yeah. So these are your initials. This was your reading. I hope it resonated and that it helps you out. Yeah, it was not like super duper clear as compared to the other piles, but yeah, that's what I'm getting. It's a little bit complex, I guess. But yeah, this is what I could get from their perspective. I hope it resonated and helped you out. If it did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you again in some of my other readings. Until then, bye and take care.